Then you put the fish. You remember that you remember to make a sauce like that, all right? You learn. You write. Maybe next year you start. You start the tomato. You buy the tomato next year. I come in at your house and make the sauce. All right? Because this is the best.
Una mattina mi son svegliata, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi son svegliata ed ho trovato l'invasor. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao.
Ever since the 15th century, tomato sauce has been a staple of any Italian household. And while yes, you could buy it, it'll never taste as good as the homemade sauce made by my grandmother. This very distinct, hardened group of mountain people gather every year to make their specific recipe. We join Maria in her venture to perfect the perfect pasta topper.
And then we're gonna cook, and then we're gonna press in the machine, and then we're gonna boil again, and then we're gonna put in a jar. We're gonna put a little bit of garlic, oil, and then we'll cook the spaghetti that we eat.
First things first, you're gonna have to buy a ton of tomatoes. What kind of tomatoes? Plum tomatoes. Why? Because Maria uses plum tomatoes, and that's pretty much gonna be the reasoning for the most of this video. Now Maria usually makes around 15 to 16 bushels. You might want to start with around 3 for your first time. First thing to do with the tomatoes after they're washed is to slice them in half. Then remove the stems and any pits or imperfections seen on the inside or outside of the tomato.
This now, we gotta boil or you gotta cook, and then the skin to come out.
Okay.
Then it's ready for go to the machine.
Now is this a special pot?
Special pot for Italy.
It's from Italy. How'd you get it back from Italy?
Hey, get the plate.
You brought this back on a plane?
Yeah, 30 years ago. Nobody said nothing, you know. Yeah. You can bring whatever you want. Now you can.
Now, when do you know? How do you know when it's cooked?
See, now it's a cook because it's a peel. See the skin? See the skin? And then the skin that's a peel like that. It's a cook of the meat.
So when the skin falls off, you know
yeah,
it's like.
Yeah. Now, so you want to do this job? You can take the sauce and put over here.
Use a pan.
So whether or not your cookware is smuggled from Italy, completely up to you. Other than that though, the cooking process is essentially the same. All you do is fill a pot, around a quarter full of water, and put the pot over an open flame. Then you fill the pot with tomatoes, and you cook it until the skin is falling off and there's a nice frothy texture on top. Now, while I can't tell you for sure how long this should take, it should take between 20 and 35 minutes. After the tomatoes are cooked, remove them with a strainer, and they're ready to be processed. Now, you need to buy one of these tomato processing machines. Maria recommends buying from Italy, as this will assure the finest quality and flawless operation.
First we come in, and then we press the machine, and then we make the sauce, and then we boil again with the sauce.
So how many times through the machine?
3 times in the machine.
But that
4 times through the machine.
4 times through the machine.
The first one don't count.
The first one don't count. So then it comes out here.
The skin you're going to push it 2 times.
So out here comes the skin.
So the tomato strainer, you completely need to buy one. Now, while this $500 model might be a little industrial for your needs, you definitely want one that's electric as it'll make your life a lot easier. When the skin comes out of the front of the machine, it needs to be passed through the machine an additional 3 times to extract all the sauce you can out of it. So that's a total of the tomatoes going through the machine 4 times. Be sure to keep the back of the machine clean, as this was important for some reason.
Why are you putting it through the tablecloth?
Eh?
Why are you, what are you doing with the tablecloth?
Because it's too much water.
Too much water?
Too much water, the water go out, and the sauce...
So, I guess I'll just pick up where he left off. Once the sauce comes out of the machine, there's far too much water in it to make a good tomato sauce. Maria found that the best way to remove this excess water is to use a very thick tablecloth.
Because he missed the scenery, the native dances and the charming songs.
No, that's without the stuff, right?
Yeah, it's the sauce.
So that's just the pure sauce.
The chungo one we will pass through like a raw, and the sauce. Now you gotta boil this an hour or so.
You gotta boil that one for an hour?
And then you gotta fry a little bit olive oil, garlic, balsamic oil.
Yeah.
And then all of this foam, the skew, all of this foam, it's a nice thick, and then we'll put it in the jar. It's ready.
Now what about this one?
The same thing. This one is still got lots to go.
So this one's gotta boil for an hour too?
More than an hour.
More than an hour? Because you also have to cook the tomato.
Huh?
Because this one isn't cooked over there, right?
Yeah, no.
That's just cut up and then...
Yeah.
Okay.
More time.
Now I should probably explain what's going on here. The pure sauce from the strainer needs to be cooked a final time until the top of the sauce is frothy. This should be for about an hour. Now a step not shown is that inside of the tomato were cut up into chunks. This is to be added to the final sauce mixture. This chunky sauce needs to be cooked for about an hour and a half until it has the same frothy texture on top. These two sauces are combined in a 1:8 ratio that's 8 parts pure and 1 part chunky, along with the garlic and olive oil.
We're gonna fry the olive, a little bit of garlic, and we're gonna put it inside of that sauce.
What you doing?
Just frying oil.
Why?
Olive and garlic, and then we'll...
Now why do you fry it? Does it not... Have you ever tried not frying it? It just doesn't taste good?
Not tasty good like that. Tasty good, but not tasty like a sauce.
What's that?
It's I mix it up with the oil. You have some mazola, and you have olive oil.
Have matzah oil?
This is the mazola oil.
Matzah oil? Alright.
So, just to reiterate, half matzah oil, half olive oil, and a bunch of garlic. Fry it in a pan, and then we'll add it to the sauce in the final step. Just in case you were wondering, this smells delicious. Now, after the garlic and olive oil is fried, it needs to be added to the final sauce mixture. This is done completely by feel by Maria, so it's hard to give an estimate. But if I had to guess, I'd say it's between a half a cup and 1 cup per gallon of sauce. Again, experiment, see how it comes out, and add more or less next year.
Of course.
Okay, we'll save this. And then we just put it on the go, you see? To give it more...
So is it basil?
Yeah, basil.
The smell is like... How good does this smell right here, Chelsea?
We'll cook some of the pasta. Want some of the pasta? What time you gotta go?
So these are the normal jars, and then that one's for when you have...
This is a 1 quart jar, this is a quart.
That's Christmas.
And this is a Christmas jar, and you gotta come back, you can wash the jar, you got no time to wash the jar. You take one of this is a 3 jar. You take one of this and you make it very easy to make a sauce. You know, you gotta use it again to save the time. To save the time.
It's all about time management.
For washing the jars?
For washing the jar too, because you open 5 or 6 jars, you know, you need the time for wash.
Sometimes I did it for the church, 15 jars. I need to
Just use 3 or 4 of those.
I got a 5, 6.
That's also saying that you've eaten like 12 pounds of olives in the last year. Because that's what those are, is olives.
She ate 17 pounds of cherries last week. So
Yeah, that's nothing. Those are just cherries.
I still like that. You want some chair?
yeah,
Still like that.
What's your name?
Maria di Francesco.
And where are you from?
From Mondazzoli. With a beautiful town of Mondazzoli.
And how long have you lived here for?
30 years, Danny.
And how many times would you say you've made this sauce before?
One time each year.
One time each year?
One time each year.
For the last?
No one time, sometimes more than one time.
For the last how many years?
Yeah. That's the fun.
Well, thank you for showing everyone, Nona.
See, the people go to the bar, that's the fun that we got.
You make the sauce?
Look at the song.
Well, thank you for showing everyone. I'm sure they'll greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate that you come up. I appreciate that you come up. I love you guys, the people want to learn. Because I can't on the gun, I don't know what you're going to do. No more salsa, no more salsicce, no more salad.
Nunu, what's this contraption? How does it add to making tomato sauce?
You make it. You got it trap.
that's how we catch the rats to put in the sauce.
How do you make tomato sauce with that?
With the red.
For the rats? You put rats in your sauce?
That's a secret.